had a fun question about how to portray sociopaths in fiction pop up, and I couldn't help but drop everything I had planned to create this episode. If you're wondering why, the reason is twofold. 1. I've been diving into the traits and nuances of sociopathic characters for some time now for my private research. 2. It gives me an excuse to talk about some of my favorite sociopaths in fiction. Not all of them. I'm not discussing John Wayne Cleaver from I Am Not a Serial Killer books, for instance, but I do wish to highlight Jade Curtiss from Tales of the Abyss, Solf J from Fullmetal Alchemist, Elmer C. Albatross from Baccano, that freak bothers me more than anyone else on this list, and Sameen Shaw from Person of Interest. Through analyzing these characters, we can pick up on the patterns for portraying sociopathic characters as more than just evil for the sake of evil. As always, I'd love to hear what you think of what I have to provide here, so I welcome comments. And of course, if you enjoy the type of content and topics explored on this channel, don't forget to support by pressing the like button or joining the channel membership. Now, let's begin. 1. Ruthless Roots. Creating a believable sociopath in fiction involves delving into their past to understand why they are the way they are. This isn't solely about trauma. It encompasses a blend of genetics, upbringing, life experiences, and relationships that shape their unique personality. Some sociopaths might be born with certain traits that set them apart. They could inherit tendencies such as impulsiveness, a lack of strong emotional responses, or a need for more excitement to feel engaged. These traits often relate to how their brains function, making them less responsive to fear and less empathetic to others. Their early environment plays a crucial role as well. Growing up in challenging conditions or in a household that lacks emotional support can teach them to be tough and detached as a survival mechanism. For instance, a child exposed to frequent violence might become desensitized to it, developing a hard, unemotional outlook on life. Cultural and societal factors are also significant. In some cultures, being aggressive or showing little emotion might be viewed as a strength, thereby encouraging sociopathic traits. Early experiences, such as exposure to crime or conflict, further mold their behavior and worldview. Relationships with others are critical too. Positive influences might attempt to steer them towards a more conventional path, but if these attempts fail, or if they idolize negative role models, their sociopathic tendencies can become more entrenched. For example, looking up to a ruthless person could lead them to mimic their behavior to succeed or gain approval. Sociopaths are often driven by strong personal goals or ambitions. They might have been recognized for their talents early on, feeling a desire to prove themselves and achieve more. Alternatively, they could be determined to overcome past trauma and rejection. Even though they may not experience emotions in a typical sense, they can have moments of inner conflict and reflection, adding depth to their characters. These moments reveal that there's more to them than just being cold or calculating. 2. Emotional detachment and lack of empathy. Sociopaths are frequently characterized by their emotional detachment and lack of empathy. They don't experience emotions like fear, sadness, or joy in the same way most people do. This detachment helps them remain calm and composed, even in stressful or dangerous situations. This ability allows them to make quick, rational decisions when others might panic. Additionally, they often show little concern for others' pain or suffering, able to witness or cause suffering without feeling personally troubled by it. Sociopaths struggle to understand and connect with other people's emotions. While they might recognize that others are hurt or upset, they don't generally feel it themselves. This disconnect makes their interactions often self-centered and manipulative. Without empathy, they focus mainly on their own needs and desires, leading to shallow or strained relationships. Despite their calm and confident exterior, this emotional detachment can lead them to feeling isolated and alone, unable to form deep connections with others. 3. Unique moral frameworks. In fiction, sociopaths often follow their own set of rules, which differ from usual moral standards. This unique moral framework guides their actions and helps them justify behavior that others might find unacceptable. For instance, they might respect people who stick to their beliefs, regardless of whether those beliefs are considered good or bad. They could despise hypocrisy and admire strong convictions, even in their adversaries. The personal code would allow them to commit terrible acts without feeling any guilt, as long as they believe they are adhering to their own principles. Sociopaths tend to be flexible in their morality. They can adapt their values to fit different situations and achieve their goals, making them practical and often manipulative. They might believe that if the end result is beneficial, then the action taken to get there is justified. This ends justify the means mentality makes them willing to take extreme actions if it helps them reach their objectives. Typically, they don't care much about traditional moral rules, seeing them as irrelevant or too restrictive. They focus on what's practical and necessary rather than what's morally acceptable. This indifference to conventional morality allows them to take action that others might find shocking. However, even with their unique moral codes, sociopaths can experience inner conflict. They might occasionally question their own actions or struggle with situations that challenge their beliefs, which adds deeper dimensions to their character. 4. A charming facade. Sociopaths in fiction often have a charming exterior that makes them likable and approachable. This charming facade helps them blend into society and gain the trust of others while concealing their true intentions. This natural charisma makes sociopaths excellent communicators who can easily influence and persuade others with their smooth talk. Behind this charm, they are typically very manipulative. They use their likability to lower others' defenses and guide them into doing what they want. Once they have someone's trust, they can exploit their vulnerabilities, steadily steering their actions to benefit themselves. The charming facade also serves as a mask that hides their true nature and intentions. This duality allows them to lead double lives, presenting a pleasant side to the world while keeping their more sinister traits hidden. This makes them unpredictable and intriguing, as people around them are often drawn to their charm but may sense something is amiss. 5. Action-oriented. Sociopaths in fiction are often depicted as action-oriented and willing to take risks, making them dynamic and compelling characters. One key reason for this is their thrill-seeking nature and reduced fear response. They crave excitement and need more intense experiences to feel engaged. This drives them to seek out adventurous and risky situations. Their lack of fear allows them to remain calm and decisive, taking bold actions without hesitation. This constant need for stimulation pushes them to pursue new challenges and thrills. Impulsivity and a focus on immediate gratification are also significant to their action-oriented behavior. Sociopaths prefer quick, decisive actions that promise instant results rather than carefully planning for the long term. This trait leads them to take risks that others might avoid, as they prioritize their current goals and needs over potential dangers. Their impulsiveness makes them more likely to jump into action without considering the possible fallout. Another factor is their high level of confidence and sense of superiority. Sociopaths often believe in their own abilities and see themselves as capable of handling any situation. This overconfidence makes them more willing to take risks, as they approach challenges with the belief that they can outthink or outmaneuver any obstacle. Their self-assurance gives them the courage to take bold steps where others might hesitate. Finally, sociopaths are skilled manipulators who thrive on controlling situations and people. Engaging in risky behavior and taking bold actions allows them to exert dominance and steer events in their favor. Their willingness to take risk often stems from the desire to maintain or gain control. This need for control drives them to be proactive and assertive in their actions. I'm certain that if I tried, I could come up with even more traits and nuances. But these consistent patterns are a solid foundation for portraying sociopaths effectively in stories. How might you use this information in your own writing or storytelling? Let me know in the comments. And as always, if you want more of my insights, check out whatever video is being recommended now.